Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something that has the power to shape your life more than any material possession. It is something you cannot hold in your hands, yet it holds you in its grasp. It is time. Time is often overlooked as a resource because it's intangible. We cannot touch it, see it, or physically hold it, yet it is the most valuable asset we possess. Unlike money, which can be earned and spent repeatedly, time is finite. Once a moment passes, it is gone forever, and we cannot buy it back. This makes time an unparalleled resource, one that is not renewable, non-refundable, and is given equally to everyone regardless of status, wealth, or background. Whether you are rich or poor, famous or unknown, each person is granted the same 24 hours in a day. How we choose to use that time, however, is what ultimately differentiates us. Time does not wait for anyone. It continues its relentless march forward, irrespective of our actions or inactions. Many people find themselves caught in a cycle of delaying their most important tasks, thinking there is always tomorrow to take action. However, when you fail to recognize time's value, you lose moments that could have been spent creating something meaningful. People often find themselves looking back, regretting time wasted on trivial pursuits, and lamenting what could have been achieved if only they had acted sooner. The truth is, time is our most precious resource because it directly correlates to the quality and fulfillment of our lives. We all have dreams, aspirations, and potential waiting to be realized, but time stands as the gateway between us and our goals. Each day that we waste doing things that don't align with our true purpose is a day lost in the grand scheme of our existence. What we fail to understand is that our time is not merely a measurement of hours, minutes, and seconds. Time represents the opportunity for growth, progress, and achievement. It embodies the potential for us to leave a lasting impact on the world. When we squander time on things that don't serve our greater purpose, we diminish our own potential. Whether we are caught in endless distractions, engaging in meaningless activities, or simply postponing our dreams, every minute we waste is a minute we will never get back. The reality is, we are constantly trading our most valuable resource for something less significant, and the price we pay is the loss of our potential growth and the opportunity to create something extraordinary. Unlike material things, time cannot be saved or accumulated. You cannot save today's time for tomorrow, nor can you store it up for later use. Each moment is fleeting, slipping through your fingers as soon as it arrives. If you fail to act, time continues to move on, indifferent to your desires, leaving you behind. The value of time becomes even clearer when you realize that it is the one thing that cannot be replaced or replenished. Time is your most precious resource because it is irreplaceable. We must begin to view time with the reverence it deserves. If we treat it like any other valuable resource, we would guard it, manage it, and invest it wisely. The choices we make about how we spend our time will determine not just our success, but our happiness, our legacy, and the very quality of our lives. Time is the one thing we all share, but how we choose to use it determines how much we truly live. Purpose is the compass that guides our lives, and time is the vehicle that takes us to our destination. The two are inextricably linked, for without a sense of purpose, time has little direction or meaning. Purpose gives our lives structure, allowing us to focus our energy and attention on the things that truly matter. It gives us a reason to wake up each morning with intention, to set goals and take deliberate actions toward achieving them. Without purpose, time becomes an endless cycle of aimlessness, where we pass through days, weeks, and even years without making any real progress towards something meaningful. When we have a clear sense of purpose, we begin to understand the value of every moment. Purpose serves as a constant reminder that time is not an infinite commodity. It creates urgency within us to use our time wisely, to prioritize the things that align with our goals, and to eliminate distractions that take us off course. Each decision we make becomes an act of alignment with our purpose. We stop wasting time on things that don't contribute to our growth and start investing our time in activities that propel us toward our mission. Purpose transforms how we experience time. It shifts our perspective from viewing time as a simple unit of measurement to seeing it as a series of opportunities. Every day becomes a chance to move closer to fulfilling our purpose, whether through small steps or bold actions. When we understand the deeper meaning of our lives, we no longer view time as something to passively endure or merely get through. Instead, we see it as a valuable gift that deserves our full attention and engagement. Time becomes something sacred, something we must protect and use wisely in the pursuit of what matters most. Without purpose, time becomes easy to squander. We may find ourselves distracted by trivial matters, filling our days with activities that have no long-term significance. The minutes and hours slip away, leaving us with a sense of regret for what we could have done but didn't. We may even find ourselves drifting through life, unsure of what we truly want, unsure of where we are headed. In the absence of purpose, we lose sight of the fact that time is a finite resource, and before we know it, years can pass without having accomplished anything truly meaningful. Purpose gives us the ability to say no to the things that do not serve our higher calling. It helps us to set boundaries and prioritize what matters most, enabling us to use our time for the pursuits that bring fulfillment, growth, and impact. When we are guided by purpose, we become more intentional with how we spend our time, making sure that every moment contributes to the larger vision of who we want to be and what we hope to achieve. Moreover, when purpose and time are aligned, they create a powerful synergy that accelerates progress. Time becomes a tool to accomplish greater things. Each day, each hour becomes an opportunity to build something lasting, whether it's a skill, relationship, or a legacy. We begin to see time not as something that simply passes, but as something that works for us, advancing us toward our goals. In this way, purpose gives time meaning, and time brings purpose to life. The power of decision lies in the fact that every single moment of our lives is shaped by the choices we make. Decisions are not just mere thoughts or fleeting considerations, they are the force that directs the course of our lives. Each decision we make, no matter how small, creates a ripple effect that impacts not only the present but also the future. What we decide today determines where we will be tomorrow, next year, and beyond. This is the profound truth: our lives are the sum total of the decisions we make. When we make a decision, we are asserting control over our circumstances. We are choosing to take responsibility for our lives and shaping the path ahead. The power of decision is not found in waiting for perfect circumstances or in hoping that opportunities will come our way. It is found in taking deliberate action even when the path is unclear, even when fear and doubt attempt to paralyze us. A decision is an act of courage, an act of faith in ourselves and our ability to navigate the uncertainties of life. It is a commitment to move forward, regardless of the challenges that may arise. The impact of decision-making goes beyond just choosing between two options. Every decision is a statement about what you value and what you are willing to sacrifice in order to pursue your goals. In every decision, we reveal our priorities, our beliefs, and our desires. The decisions we make today echo throughout our lives, affecting our relationships, our careers, our health, and our happiness. A decision to invest in your education, to pursue a passion, or to walk away from toxic influences can dramatically shift the direction of your life. Every decision has the potential to bring you closer to your purpose or to move you further away from it. However, many people fail to realize the true power of decision because they spend too much time in indecision. Indecision is a form of paralysis that keeps us stuck in a state of inaction. When we fail to make decisions, we essentially make a decision by default. We decide to do nothing, to remain stagnant, to continue with the status quo. But life does not wait for those who are unwilling to make decisions. Indecision causes wasted time, missed opportunities, and the erosion of confidence. It is the silent killer of progress. The longer you remain in indecision, the more time slips away from you, and the more difficult it becomes to take meaningful action. Making decisions is also an act of self-trust. Every decision is an opportunity to demonstrate faith in your judgment and in your ability to navigate the consequences of your choices. When we make decisions, we are choosing to trust ourselves, even when we don't have all the answers. We must learn to embrace the uncertainty that comes with decision-making and understand that no decision comes without risk. The key is not to avoid making decisions out of fear of failure, but to recognize that failure itself is a part of the learning process. Each decision, whether successful or not, provides valuable lessons that ultimately lead to growth and improvement. In essence, decision-making is not just about choosing between options, it is about choosing who you want to become, where you want to go, and what you are willing to do to get there. The power of decision is the power to shape your destiny. It is the recognition that you have the ability to change your life moment by moment through the choices you make. By consistently making decisions that align with your purpose and your vision, you take ownership of your life, build momentum, and create the future you desire. Every decision you make sends a message to the universe that you are committed to your journey. It declares that you are no longer waiting for things to happen, you are making them happen. And it is in this act of decision that you unleash the true power of your life. Focus is the one skill that separates the dreamers from the achievers. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus is rare, yet it is the most crucial factor in achieving success. Focus is the force that allows us to cut through the noise, block out the irrelevant, and direct all of our energy toward what truly matters. It is the mental discipline that turns our intentions into actions and our actions into results. Without focus, even the best ideas and talents can remain untapped, as we are pulled in 1,000 directions, never fully engaging with any one thing. Focus is not just about paying attention, it is about intention and commitment. When we focus, we make a conscious decision to dedicate ourselves to a task, to a goal, or to a purpose, and we choose to disregard anything that does not serve that objective. It is the ability to direct our thoughts and actions with clarity, knowing that we are working towards something meaningful. Focus brings clarity to our purpose and sharpens our ability to take decisive action. It allows us to create momentum, making progress toward our goals in a way that scattered attention and fragmented effort never could. In today's digital age, distractions are everywhere. Social media notifications, emails, phone calls, and the constant pull of entertainment all fight for our attention. Every time we shift our focus, we not only lose valuable time, but also break the flow of our work. The constant switching between tasks, often referred to as multitasking, results in decreased efficiency and a lack of depth in our work. Multitasking may feel productive, but in reality, it is one of the most effective ways to squander our time and energy. True focus requires undivided attention. It is the act of immersing ourselves in the task at hand and fully engaging in the moment. The power of focus lies in its ability to create mastery. When we focus on a single area of our life or work, we allow ourselves the space to hone our skills, learn from our mistakes, and improve over time. Mastery does not come from divided attention. It is the result of consistent effort, deliberate practice, and an unwavering commitment to a specific goal or craft. Focus enables us to push past the obstacles and frustrations that naturally arise in any endeavor, allowing us to develop a level of expertise and proficiency that would be impossible if our energy were scattered across too many pursuits. One of the greatest obstacles to focus is the fear of missing out, the belief that we need to be constantly engaged in multiple things to be successful or fulfilled. This mentality leads many to constantly juggle different commitments, spread themselves too thin, and ultimately achieve little. Focus requires sacrifice. It requires us to let go of the idea that we can do everything at once and instead concentrate our efforts on what will bring the greatest reward. It is about choosing depth over breadth, quality over quantity. Prioritization is the ability to distinguish what truly matters from what merely occupies our time. In a world where the demands on our time are endless and the distractions are many, being able to prioritize effectively is crucial to success. The problem most people face is not a lack of time, but a lack of understanding about how to use their time in the most meaningful way. We often spend our time reacting to whatever is in front of us, dealing with what seems most urgent, rather than what is most important. Without prioritization, our energy is scattered and our efforts are diluted, leaving us with little to show for all the hard work we put in. The ability to prioritize is one of the most powerful tools for achieving success because it gives us the clarity to focus on what will truly move us toward our goals. When we prioritize, we make deliberate choices about where we spend our time and energy. We begin to understand that not everything demands equal attention. There are things that will push us closer to our vision and things that, while they may feel pressing in the moment, have little long-term value. Prioritization allows us to discern between the two and to make decisions that align with our larger objectives. Many people get caught in the trap of busyness, believing that the more they do, the more they will accomplish. But busyness does not equal productivity. It is easy to get lost in the whirlwind of tasks, meetings, and obligations, thinking that we are making progress. Yet, if we do not prioritize, we often end up spending our time on tasks that are insignificant, leaving the important things undone. To be truly productive, we must learn to evaluate what is essential, what will have the most impact, and what aligns with our values and long-term goals. Effective prioritization requires us to be honest with ourselves about what matters most. It calls for self-awareness and the discipline to say no to things that do not serve our higher purpose, it also requires an understanding that not everything can or should be a priority. We cannot give equal time and attention to everything in our lives, nor should we. Prioritization forces us to evaluate where our energy and focus will have the greatest return. It forces us to acknowledge that some things will have to be put aside, at least temporarily, in order to pursue what will make the biggest difference. A common mistake is to prioritize things based solely on urgency rather than importance. Just because something is urgent does not mean it is critical. Many of the things that seem urgent, emails, phone calls, or requests from others, are distractions that draw us away from the tasks that will move us closer to our goals. Urgency often demands our immediate attention, but that doesn't mean it should be our top priority. Prioritizing based on importance rather than urgency allows us to focus on activities that are aligned with our long-term vision, not just the immediate needs of the moment. Prioritization also requires the discipline to invest time in planning. Many people react to the day's events without ever stepping back to assess what they should be working on. When we fail to prioritize, we leave our time management to chance. By taking a few moments each day or each week to plan and assess what matters most, we put ourselves in a position to succeed. We can create a roadmap for the day or week ahead, ensuring that the tasks that will bring us closer to our goals are at the top of the list. The more effectively we prioritize, the more we begin to see progress toward our dreams. Prioritization brings structure to our lives, helping us to be intentional in how we spend our time. It ensures that we are not only working hard, but working smart. It eliminates the overwhelming feeling that comes from trying to do everything at once and instead brings focus and clarity to what we need to accomplish. It's the key to breaking free from the cycle of procrastination and overcommitment that so many of us find ourselves trapped in. Ultimately, the power of prioritization lies in its ability to give us control. It empowers us to take charge of our time, ensuring that we are investing it in ways that will bring the greatest returns. It allows us to step out of the reactive, survival mode and into a more proactive, goal-oriented approach to life. When we prioritize, we make sure that we are spending our time on what truly matters, and we begin to align our daily actions with the future we want to create. Prioritization is not just a skill, it is a mindset, a practice, and a reflection of the values that guide us toward a meaningful and impactful life. Multitasking has long been touted as an essential skill for success in today's fast-paced world. It is often praised as a way to get more done in less time, a mark of efficiency and productivity. However, the reality of multitasking is far different from the myth. While it may seem like a good idea to juggle multiple tasks at once, research has shown that multitasking actually decreases our overall efficiency and quality of work. Our brains are not designed to handle multiple complex tasks simultaneously. What we consider multitasking is in fact task switching, a rapid shifting of focus from one thing to another. Every time we switch tasks, there is a cognitive cost. It takes time for our brain to refocus, to regain momentum, and to get back into a productive state. This constant shifting creates mental fatigue, reduces concentration, and leads to more mistakes. Rather than being productive, multitasking often results in subpar work and wasted time. The myth of multitasking is that we can somehow do everything well at the same time, but the truth is, we can't. When we try to manage several tasks at once, we dilute our focus and spread ourselves too thin. The power of decision, on the other hand, lies in the ability to commit to a single task and to see it through to completion before moving on to the next. It is the decision to prioritize one thing, to focus all of our mental energy on it, and to give it the attention it deserves. When we make a decision to focus on one task, we tap into a higher level of productivity and effectiveness. A decision to focus is a decision to eliminate distractions, to block out everything that isn't aligned with the task at hand. This is where true productivity and progress lie. It's not in attempting to multitask, but in making the conscious decision to give our best to the thing that will move us forward. The power of decision is not simply in choosing one task over another, but in the commitment that comes with the decision. It's about being fully present in the moment, engaging in the work with full attention and energy. A decision to act is also a decision to take ownership of your time, to take responsibility for your actions, and to direct your energy toward a singular purpose. The act of making a decision is a declaration that you are ready to take control of your life, to move away from distractions, and to create a clear path toward your goals. By choosing to focus on what truly matters, you unlock your potential for success, productivity, and fulfillment. When we focus on one task at a time, we work smarter, not harder. We're not diluting our efforts by dividing our attention. Instead, we're making deliberate, thoughtful decisions about how to best use our time and resources. The quality of our work improves because we're fully invested in the task. Our performance increases because we're not splitting our attention between competing priorities. A focused decision-making process helps us work with greater clarity, purpose, and intention, which are the hallmarks of effective action. In contrast, multitasking often leads to decision fatigue. When we spread ourselves across multiple tasks, we are constantly making small decisions, each one taking up mental energy. These small decisions may seem insignificant on their own, but they add up over time, leaving us exhausted and overwhelmed. In a state of mental exhaustion, we become more prone to errors, distractions, and poor judgment. On the other hand, when we make a decision to focus on one task, we eliminate the constant mental switching and decision-making that comes with trying to juggle several things at once. Our brain can settle into a productive rhythm, allowing us to do our best work with greater ease. The power of decision also allows us to gain momentum. When we commit to one task and make the decision to stay focused, we build momentum that propels us forward. We move from one completed task to the next, with each decision reinforcing our progress. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in productivity because it creates a cycle of action and accomplishment. As we make decisions and take focused action, we create a sense of achievement that fuels further progress. With every decision to focus, we grow closer to our goals, building a track record of success along the way. Making a decision to focus on one thing at a time is liberating. It frees us from the myth of multitasking and the pressure to do everything at once. It simplifies our approach, giving us clarity and control over our time. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a long list of tasks, we can approach our work with a sense of purpose, knowing that each decision to focus is a step toward something greater. This single-minded commitment to our goals leads to higher levels of productivity, better outcomes, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. By embracing the power of decision and rejecting the myth of multitasking, we unlock the true potential of our time and our ability to achieve extraordinary things. Procrastination is the silent thief that steals our time without us even realizing it. It sneaks into our lives, often disguised as a lack of motivation or a desire for perfection, and before we know it, hours, days, and even weeks have slipped away. The impact of procrastination is not just the time that passes while we avoid our responsibilities, it's also the emotional and psychological toll it takes. The longer we procrastinate, the more we accumulate a sense of anxiety and guilt, knowing that the work remains undone and the clock is ticking. This sense of unease grows over time, affecting not only our productivity but our well-being as well. At its core, procrastination is a failure to act. It's the choice to delay the decisions and tasks that need our attention, opting instead for distractions, comfort, or avoidance. While procrastination may offer temporary relief in the form of escaping difficult or unpleasant tasks, it always comes at a greater cost. The things we procrastinate on don't disappear, they linger, waiting to be dealt with later, and often they become bigger, more challenging, and more overwhelming the longer we wait. In this way, procrastination doesn't just steal time, it steals opportunity, growth, and progress. Procrastination is also a form of self-sabotage. When we delay our work, we are essentially telling ourselves that we are not capable of handling the task, or that the task isn't important enough to warrant our immediate attention. It reflects a lack of confidence and a fear of failure. We put off starting a project because we fear it won't be perfect or that we will not live up to our own expectations. However, in the act of postponing, we fail to recognize that the real failure lies in never starting at all. By procrastinating, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. We don't give ourselves the chance to succeed because we are too busy avoiding the discomfort of taking action. Another aspect of procrastination is its ability to warp our sense of time. We often convince ourselves that we have more time than we really do, and so we delay action, believing there will always be a tomorrow. But time does not wait for us. The more we procrastinate, the less time we have to complete what we need to do, and this results in increased pressure and stress as deadlines approach. What once seemed like a manageable task now becomes a mountain to climb in a limited time frame. Procrastination, in this sense, distorts our ability to accurately assess time and manage it effectively, causing us to misjudge how long things will actually take and how much time we have left. The paradox of procrastination is that it often makes the tasks we delay seem far worse than they actually are. We overestimate the difficulty or the consequences of taking action, and the longer we wait, the more daunting the task becomes in our minds. This fear and avoidance feed into the cycle, making it harder to begin the work. But once we finally take action, we often find that the task is not nearly as difficult as we imagined, and the burden of procrastination disappears. The weight of inaction is far heavier than the effort required to complete the task. Procrastination robs us of the energy and confidence we would gain from taking action and completing tasks in a timely manner. Furthermore, procrastination breeds stress. As we delay our tasks, the pressure mounts and stress levels rise. The longer we put something off, the more urgent it becomes and the more overwhelmed we feel. This stress is not just mental but physical as well, as the burden of unfinished tasks affects our mood, our sleep, and our overall health. Stress from procrastination becomes a chronic cycle, leading to more avoidance, more delays, and more anxiety, making it increasingly difficult to break free. Procrastination also diminishes the quality of our work. When we wait until the last minute, we are often forced to rush through tasks, which leaves us little time for thoughtful consideration or careful execution. The result is subpar work that could have been improved if given more attention and time. Procrastination robs us of the opportunity to deliver our best work because we often compromise on quality to meet the looming deadlines. The impact of procrastination extends beyond personal productivity. It can affect relationships and careers. When we delay completing tasks, we may let down others who are relying on us. Our hesitation and avoidance can create frustration for colleagues, family members, or friends who may feel neglected or burdened by our inaction. This damages trust and erodes the sense of accountability that is crucial to building strong relationships. Procrastination, therefore, has far-reaching consequences that affect not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. Time is the currency of life, and like any valuable currency, it must be spent wisely. We are often reminded that time is the one resource that we cannot earn more of, and once it is gone forever. Every moment that passes is a transaction in the economy of life, a precious exchange that we cannot afford to waste. The way we spend our time determines the life we build, the relationships we form, and the achievements we attain. It shapes our experiences, influences our growth, and ultimately dictates the legacy we leave behind. Time, unlike money, is not replenishable. Once a moment slips by, it cannot be regained, no matter how hard we try. This makes time infinitely more valuable than any financial asset we possess. When we think of time as a currency, it becomes clear that how we allocate our time is just as important as how we manage our money. Just as we would not squander a dollar without considering its value, we should not squander a single moment of our time. Every day is an opportunity to invest in our future, whether by advancing our careers, nurturing our relationships, or growing personally and spiritually. The way we spend our time reflects our priorities, our goals, and our true values. A person who spends hours each day on activities that bring them no closer to their purpose is essentially wasting their life's currency. On the other hand, someone who invests their time in pursuits that align with their goals, who dedicates time to learning, creating, and serving others, is making wise investments with their most valuable asset. Time, like money, is limited. We all have a finite amount of it, and we must use it judiciously. The way we choose to spend our time often reveals what we value most, whether it's career success, personal development, family, or leisure. It's easy to become distracted by the demands of daily life, by the constant pull of obligations, or by the desire to fill our time with mindless entertainment. But these activities, while sometimes necessary for relaxation or socialization, can easily eat up large portions of our time if we are not mindful. The key is to be intentional with how we spend our time. Just as we would not allow our finances to be drained by unnecessary spending, we must be conscious of how we allow our time to be consumed. Furthermore, time is a resource that we spend not only on external pursuits, but also on internal development. How we spend our time internally, what we choose to think about, how we manage our emotions, and how we engage with our beliefs affects the course of our lives just as much as how we spend our time externally. We can spend time in reflection, in growth, and in cultivating a mindset that drives us towards success and fulfillment. Or we can waste time in negative thought patterns, self-doubt, and complacency. all of which drain us of the energy and motivation needed to pursue our dreams. Just as money must be carefully managed, so must our mental and emotional energy be directed with purpose. In this currency of time, there are also dividends. When we invest our time in the right places, whether it's in developing skills, building relationships, or creating a business, those investments can yield rewards that compound over time. The time we invest in our education, for instance, can pay off in the form of career advancement, personal growth, and financial stability. Similarly, the time spent nurturing meaningful relationships can create a strong support system that lasts a lifetime. The dividends of time may not be immediately visible, but over time, they accumulate and become invaluable assets in our lives. Yet, there are costs associated with every choice we make regarding how to spend our time. The more time we allocate to one area of life, the less time we have for others. If we dedicate ourselves exclusively to our careers, for instance, we may sacrifice time with family or personal development. Similarly, time spent on entertainment or leisure can mean less time dedicated to meaningful work or growth. Time is a zero-sum game. Every choice we make is an exchange, and the question we must continually ask ourselves is this the best use of my time? It's not enough to fill our days with activity. We must focus on activities that are aligned with our goals and values, ones that contribute to the life we want to create. The currency of time also comes with an ever-present truth: the future is not guaranteed. We cannot assume that we will have more time tomorrow or next year. Life is unpredictable, and the next moment is not promised. This understanding gives urgency to how we spend our time. We must act now, not later. We must make choices today that bring us closer to our aspirations and build the life we want to lead. Waiting for the perfect time or delaying action out of fear or uncertainty only wastes the currency we've been given. Time waits for no one, and each day that passes is one we will never get back. The way we treat our time is a reflection of how we view our lives. When we understand time as the valuable resource it truly is, we approach life with greater intentionality and purpose. We begin to see every moment as an opportunity to invest, to create, and to make meaningful progress. We recognize that time, unlike money, is finite, and that we must make every moment count. How we spend our time, both in the short term and over the course of our lives, determines what we build, what we achieve, and the legacy we leave behind. Time, as our currency, is the most valuable asset we have, and how we spend it will define the richness of our experience. Time is a mirror that reflects what we truly value in life. The way we allocate our time says everything about our priorities, our beliefs, and the importance we place on different aspects of our lives. It is a silent yet powerful indicator of what we care about most. While words can sometimes be misleading or influenced by external factors, time is a clear and honest reflection of our values. If you want to know what someone values, look at how they spend their time. Because time is the one resource that can never be bought, replaced, or reclaimed once it's gone. When we spend our time on things that align with our values, we feel a sense of fulfillment, purpose, and meaning. On the other hand, when we waste time on activities or tasks that do not serve our greater purpose, we feel unfulfilled, frustrated, and disconnected from what truly matters. This happens because, at a deep level, our internal compass is constantly guiding us toward what we value most. When our actions, particularly how we spend our time, are out of alignment with those values, we experience a dissonance that leads to dissatisfaction. This sense of misalignment can show up in different ways: feelings of guilt, frustration, stress, or even regret, but the underlying cause is the same: we are not spending our time in a way that honors our deepest beliefs and priorities. For example, if personal growth is a core value, the way we invest our time will reflect that. We'll dedicate time to learning, expanding our knowledge, and honing our skills. Whether it's through reading, taking courses, attending seminars, or engaging in reflective practices, the time we spend on personal development is a clear indication of our commitment to growth. Similarly, if relationships are a central value, the time we give to our family, friends, and loved ones will show how much we cherish those connections. Quality time spent with those who matter most, offering support and sharing experiences, speaks volumes about the importance of relationships in our lives. Conversely, when we neglect our values, it's often because we are not intentional about how we manage our time. If we find ourselves spending countless hours on activities that don't bring us closer to our goals or values, whether it's endless social media scrolling, working on tasks that don't align with our passions, or engaging in meaningless distractions, we are essentially giving away our time without thought or purpose. Over time, this behavior can lead to feelings of emptiness or dissatisfaction because we are not living in harmony with what we truly care about. Our actions do not match our internal beliefs. And that discrepancy creates a disconnect between what we say is important and how we actually live our lives. The way we spend our time also reflects how we view success. If we believe success is about climbing the corporate ladder, we might dedicate significant amounts of our time to work, sometimes at the expense of other areas of our lives. If we see success as building a meaningful family life, we will invest time in nurturing those relationships, even if it means making sacrifices in other areas. Our time is an investment, and how we choose to invest it shows where we place our energy, efforts, and resources. Success is ultimately defined by what we prioritize, and these priorities are rooted in our values. In many cases, people may talk about their values but fail to act on them when it comes to how they spend their time. They may say they value health but spend most of their time working at a desk without exercising or making time for wellness. They may say they value creativity but never dedicate time to engage in creative pursuits. The discrepancy between what we say and what we do is often the result of poor time management or a lack of awareness of how time is being used. In these situations, it is crucial to step back and reflect on how our actions align with our stated values. Are we truly honoring what we say is important to us, or are we allowing other forces such as external expectations or distractions to dictate how we spend our time? Time also reveals our ability to make decisions that align with our values. We may face many choices throughout the day, each requiring us to decide how we will spend our time. These decisions may be small, whether to spend an extra hour on a project at work or to take a break and relax, but they all accumulate and shape the direction of our lives. The ability to make decisions based on what we value most is a critical skill. It requires self-awareness and the courage to say no to things that don't contribute to our greater purpose, even if they are tempting or socially expected. Every decision about how to spend our time is a reflection of who we are and what we stand for. When we take control of how we use our time, we align our actions with our values, creating a life that feels intentional and meaningful. We begin to live with purpose, making deliberate choices about where we direct our energy. We find joy in the things that truly matter because we know that we are spending our most precious resource in ways that reflect our deepest beliefs. Over time, this alignment leads to a more fulfilling and satisfying life, one where we can look back and see that our time was well spent invested in the things that matter most. Our time reveals everything about us. It is a tangible representation of what we hold dear. How we spend our time is not just an indicator of our values, it shapes the very life we lead. Time doesn't lie. It's the currency of life, and when we choose to spend it wisely, we choose to live in a way that reflects our highest aspirations, our deepest values, and our most meaningful goals. In conclusion, time is the most precious resource we have, and how we spend it reflects who we are and what we truly value. Living with intention is not about perfection or doing everything right. It's about making conscious choices that align with our purpose, priorities, and aspirations. Every moment is an opportunity to invest in the life we want to create. Time reveals our values, shapes our future, and builds our legacy. By managing our time with clarity, discipline, focus, and mindfulness, we can ensure that we are not merely passing through life, but living it with purpose and direction. The power to create a meaningful and fulfilling life lies in how we choose to spend our time today. Let us not waste a single moment, but use each one as a stepping stone toward the life we are meant to live.